Hi, this is Anne with Graphic Design How To, and today I'm going to show you how to create actions for common tasks in Adobe Illustrator. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I have a few actions that I've already set up to do repetitive tasks that I do a lot in my workflow. And one of those is to align things quickly to one object. So if I want to align these shapes vertically, all I have to do is select them all like this, click on one, and then hit Shift F5. And that way I don't have to find my Align panel, pick which one I want, and change my Align to settings. Now the thing about this action is it will only do vertical. I would have to set up a different action if I wanted it to do horizontal. You could have it do both things though. I'm going to move these off center just a little bit. Then we'll come over to our Actions panel. Now, if you don't see this panel or any of the other panels that I have open, you can come up here to Window and they'll all be available right here. Here's the Actions one right here. Now, in your Actions panel, if you've never set up an action yourself, you'll have these default actions in there. But you won't want to put these in that same folder. You'll want to create a new folder, which is right down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll create a new set. We can call it whatever we want. We'll call it My Actions and say OK. Now this is a folder that holds all the actions you'll create, so we need to put an action in there, and to do that we can just hit this plus button. And it's going to ask us again for a new name. This one's going to be called Vertical Align, and we want it to be in My Actions, which we just created, and we can set a function key here. I think I'll do F8. There's nothing right now that F8 is being used for, so I can either choose these, but I don't have to. And we'll record. Now we just have to go through the action that we would normally do. So I'm going to select all, then I'm going to click one, and I'll come down here to Align right here. And that's it. You can see that it recorded the things we did. And now I'm going to come down here to this little box to stop recording the action. If we also wanted to align these horizontally, we could have kept going and then just choose this one too, but they'll all end up on the same spot. So that doesn't really make sense, at least for my workflow. Okay, so let's undo and get back to where we were. Now let's see if it works. So I'm going to highlight the four objects with my selection tool. Then I'll click one, and when I click one like that, that just means that I'm setting a key object. It's just like coming down here and choosing Align to Key Object. And then I'll hit F8, and it's aligned everything. So perfect. Now the next time you close Illustrator, or if Illustrator crashes, you're going to lose these actions. So you'll need to save them, and to do that, you'll click on the folder right up here, then get on the flyout and choose Save Actions. I have a folder called Useful Items, and I always save them in that folder on my desktop, but you can save them wherever you want. Okay, so that is the first action I wanted to show you that I use all the time. The second one deals with icons that I download from Shutterstock or Vecteezy or something like that. A lot of times the icons aren't built the way they should be. Honestly, most of the time they're built fine. You can just click the icon you want and drag it off the screen and it'll take everything that's supposed to come with it. But sometimes you'll get ones that are grouped really strangely, and I get these so often that I've made an action to kind of separate and group everything. So first I'm going to select the background and I'll lock it. And now I'm going to set up an action where I can just select this one and then cut it, paste it in front, and then hide it. For example, if I try to click this one now, I only get one piece of it. If I try to highlight the whole thing and move it, I get some weird grouped parts of other icons. So I'll show you how to make this action. I'll come back over to My Actions, and then I'll choose New Action. This one is going to be called Icon Grouper. And we'll put this also as F8, but because I already had one set up for F8, it's forcing me to choose Shift. If I unclick this, it'll force me to choose Command. So we'll do Shift F8 for this one, and I'll record. I'm going to get on my Group Selection tool, and I'm just going to draw around this first one. And then I'll cut it with Command X or Control X on a PC. I'll paste in front with Command F or Control F, and then I'll group it with Command G or Control G. Now this one is pretty much done, but I want to get it out of the way because it's going to be a little hard to select this one without accidentally selecting this one. So I'll hide this one next with Command 3 or Control 3 on a PC. And as you can see over here in our Actions panel, everything we just did was recorded. So cut, paste in front, group, and hide. And that's all we needed to do. So now I'll hit the stop button and we'll go on and do the same to all the others. So I'm on my group selection tool. I'm just going to highlight this one and then I'll hit Shift F8. And see how fast that is? I mean, you can hit all those buttons, but this just saves a little bit of time. Then at the very end, I'll just hit Option Command 3 or Alt Control 3 on a PC to bring everything back. And now when I get on my selection tool and try to move this one, they all move the way they should. So again, if we forget and close Illustrator before saving these, we'll still have these up here, but we'll lose this icon grouper. So you'll want to click back on your folder and come out here to Save Actions right here. So as you're doing projects, just try to ask yourself, is this a repetitive motion? Is this something that I could automate using actions in Illustrator? If so, set up your own action. There are things you can't do with actions and you'd have to actually write a script for some things, but most repetitive tasks can be automated with actions. Alright, if you like this video, please click on the like button, and I'll see you in a couple days with another graphic design video. Thank you!